tribes of the light side have constructed the Light Temple. They believe this temple will protect them from us. Your task is to destroy this place before the day of the eclipse. You are one of the few to walk in the sunlight. Are you ready?
Hey guys, Richard here, Studio Director at Vertigo Games. Welcome to our studio. Today the team will be talking about After the Fall, our biggest and most ambitious VR project yet. We've been working on this for 1.5 years and we can't wait to hear what you guys think.
After the Fall is a VR action FPS with RPG elements set in a shared world with 4-player co-op at its heart. Players use their own combat styles to fight against a variety of these zombie-like creatures known as the Snowbeat in a battle for survival and control of a frozen, post-apocalyptic Los Angeles.
For me, After the Fall is about a lot of enemies and about loads of loot. Me and my team are really pushing the boundaries of VR by getting the largest hordes, the biggest bosses and the richest environments on screen, all shared with players around the world.
So once players have teamed up and selected a loadout, they go on a mission together. Missions can involve various types of objectives. Say a settlement is in desperate need of some assistance and requires you to go out and save them from a giant colossal snowbeat that you need to take down together. The main focus for After the Fall are the main missions that you do, but aside from that there's also side content that you can follow, and events and other interesting encounters that you can do to upgrade your equipment further, and of course, play that endgame.
Hey everyone and welcome to the first ever Upload E3 VR showcase. Thanks for being here, I'm Jamie. This is going to be exactly what it sounds like, 60 minutes of VR games. That's not a lot of time for me to talk, you just want to see the games. Why don't we just get right to it?
Do you remember Meliora? It was a land of magic and wonder. wish to claim it. There is no price I wouldn't pay to protect my home. What is but a soul in return for such power?
Hi, I'm Jenny. Welcome to Nicorp's offices. We're going to be showing you some footage from budget cuts for PSVR for the very first time. So enjoy.
Hi, my name is James Hunt, and I'm very happy to announce the next title from Fast Travel Games and a passion project of mine called The Curious Tale of the Stolen Pets. The Curious Tale is an interactive, heartwarming story where you play your childhood memories formed into tiny worlds in front of you. The game is full of animated life, playful interactions, and joyful, unique puzzles. We at Fast Travel Games are known for our action adventures in first person, but this is something very different. We're a small, passionate team working on this game alongside our bigger titles, and we hope to share something really special. And here's the very first trailer. Enjoy!
Is that you? I didn't recognize you at first. You're all grown up. Do you remember the curious worlds we created together, you and I? We have a problem to handle there, and I think you can help.
We need to put aside our differences and work together.
Are you freaking kidding me?
Okay, guys, let's do this.
Hustlers in the party, y'all.
This is it. This is the amazing team I've been working around the clock for.
For the players.
Are you freaking kidding me? That was an awesome showcase of the great content VR developers are putting out there right now. Next up, let's take a trip to the TARDIS.
That's it. Signal at maximum power. Oh, you are gonna love this bit.
Doctor Who The Edge of Time is a feature-length adventure where you get to fly the TARDIS and visit new locations in the world of Doctor Who. The story based around a villain that has awoken. They're in control of space and time, and they've sent out a reality virus that totally disrupts the time across various worlds.
Stronger, and I'll soon be through that door, so get a move on. Are you thinking what I'm thinking?
We get to visit different worlds, different times. We get to explore worlds really intimately, as well as more challenging mechanics where you might meet well-known characters such as the Weeping Angels or even a Dalek. For us, it's really important that we captured the experience of being in an episode, and that moment when the TARDIS appears is a really powerful moment. And of course, when you open the doors and you can actually see the TARDIS, it's quite amazing, a real VR moment.
Hi, I'm Peter. I'm from Resolution Games. We're in the middle of Stockholm and we're working on a multiplayer VR game called Acron. In Acron, the VR player becomes a magical tree trying to defend its acorns. The mobile players joins in as squirrels trying to steal the acorns.
We tried to make games that could fit everyone. It was just the most natural thing that, okay, so you're a tree, you have your acorns, and what animal like acorns? Well,
squirrels.
Squirrels, of course.
So essentially it's a party game. You can pick up your friends, they're playing as the squirrels, you throw them away, you can pick up projectiles, a bowling ball. You can even pick up some sap throw it on the field, and when the sap lays down, the squirrels will be slow when you're running around.
Acron is coming later this summer to Oculus Rift and Oculus Quest, and we can't wait for you guys to try it.
Okay, let's get this straight. Budget cuts, Curious Tale of the Stolen Pets, and Acron. Is it just me, or are Swedish developers really good at making wholesome VR games? Next couple of VR games, not so wholesome.
We work closely with AMC to bring you The Walking Dead Onslaught. We're really excited about this title because it allowed us for the first time to bring together all the amazing technology that we built up from past shooters like Raw Data, the melee experiences from Pre-Rise to Glory, and our locomotion system from Sprint Vector for the first time, bringing them together in an action-packed experience like no one's seen before. Not only did we get to work with AMC and some of their team writers, we also got to work with some of the amazing talent on the show as well. As you're going through the campaign, you'll be able to level up your characters, unlocking new perks. Not only that, each character will have unique, iconic weapons that you've seen in the show, them using time and time again, and you'll be able to experience what it's like to play as those characters fighting off the walkers. With The Walking Dead, it's not just about the world itself and the walkers, but really how you interact with them, and we wanted to take that to the next level in VR. So building upon our past animated technology with Creed, we wanted to take melee and combat to the next level. So we created what we're calling progressive dismemberment. This new system, players not only can decapitate, scalp, carve, impale, and do all sorts of disgusting, horrible things to the walkers as they try to survive through this horrifying experience. It will be available at your local arcades across the globe, but also at retail for the Oculus Rift and the Vive systems.
This is completely against hotel policy.
Well done sneaking in, Agent. You've made your way into Dr. Zor's boardroom. Don't get too comfortable. You're only here to gather intel. As long as you don't touch anything, you shouldn't have any trouble. We expect nothing less than your usual professionalism. Good luck.
Hey PSVR fans. Enjoying the show? I hope so, because the next couple are for you. Let's hand it over to one of the coolest dudes in video games.
What's up, everybody? It's me, Greg Miller from Kinda Funny, and I'm so happy that UploadVR is doing their own showcase. Of course, we're doing our own showcase too, E3, all indie games. It's happening tonight. You can check it out later. Enough about that! Instead, let's talk about PlayStation VR. That's right, the only real form of VR there is. I'm just kidding, I love Oculus Quest. I just have this thing where I, joke around about not liking PC games. I digress. PlayStation VR, I'm here to talk to you about Mini Mech Mayhem. It is a game from Future Lab. You might remember them. How could you forget? From the Velocity games that were awesome on the PlayStation Vita. You remember the PlayStation Vita, right? No, you don't. It was a handheld. It had 2 sticks. It was great. Nobody supported it enough, except people like Future Lab. That's why we need to support them with Mini Mech Mayhem.
Mini Mech Mayhem is a tabletop action strategy game for up to 4 players online. The game is played out in 2 stages. The first stage is planning, where everyone programs their actions for their little mech and they use the PlayStation Move controllers to pick the moves for them. And then the second phase is where all those moves that have been programmed play out, and you don't necessarily know which order they're going to play out in. During the programming phase, you're trying to get your mech onto the victory square or to push another mech into a hazard. You have to try and guess what your opponent is going to do. So if it does go horribly wrong, it's not the end of the world because you have intercept cards that you can play, such as calling in an airstrike or just nudging someone off by 1 square.
We've got this thing in the game called an avatar, which is what you play as. My favourite thing is to go into the shop and then customise my avatar. You can also customise your mech as well, your little buddy, and you can put different parts on them and change the colours.
One of my unbiased favourite parts of the game is the AI. There are about 60 AI characters in game. Each of the AI characters will have its own difficulty assigned to it, so they fall into 4 categories: easy, medium, hard and tutorial. So you might start to recognise some of these AI. If you're playing against hard all the time, you'll come up against Jack the Brave.
What am I called in the game?
You're Frosty Matt.
I should have been Lemon Matt, really.
Or you can swap with a Sour Claire if you want.
I'll be Sour Claire.
At the heart of Mini Mech Mayhem, there's a real strong funny bone, which is new for us as a studio. We've made fun games before, we've not made funny games.
Mini Mech Mayhem is coming out on the 18th of June, and you can pre-order now on the PlayStation Store.
Hello, I am Sir Anvil Cafeus, soldier of fortune. I am looking for food and shelter. Is there a brothel in this town? Where the fuck is everybody? By all the...
...2019 has been amazing for Perp Games, with much more to come, including the highly anticipated Sirento, but we're not stopping there. As you saw earlier, the Angry Birds Movie 2 VR Under Pressure is coming exclusively to PlayStation VR. We're so honoured to reveal today that Perp are plucking it out of the digital world and are sending it soaring onto store shelves everywhere. We can't wait for you to try this zany underwater adventure when it launches later this year. Also later this year, Drunken Bar Fight will get a special edition with added DLC, introducing a few new levels and features like character selection, customization, unlockables, and 4-player multiplayer. So roll up your sleeves ready for when Drunken Bar Fight Special Edition comes to retail in 2019. Perp is always listening to the needs of the VR community, and that's why we are so happy to announce a physical edition of Pixel Ripped 1989, the multi-dimensional homage to retro gaming, is coming exclusively to the Perp store. We'll be opening pre-orders very soon. And later this year, we'll continue to work with Alvor to publish their highly anticipated follow-up, Pixelripped 1995. This one will go to wider physical markets in all territories.
Right! That's it!
Well, almost. We've got one last thing to share with you today. IEYTD's breathtaking PSVR exclusive adventure enables you to achieve the impossible as you gradually explore and unravel the secrets of an ancient city. It's one you've been waiting for, and today we are thrilled to reveal that Golem will get a physical release through Perp Games at launch. Thank you for your continued support. Enjoy the rest of the show.
Hey guys, I'm Arjen, programmer at Vertigo Games, and I'm excited to reveal something we've been working on that has been requested a lot. Can't wait what you guys think. This will be the Arizona Sunshine experience you've come to love with the freedom of the Oculus Quest, coming this year.
Dance Central is the hottest club in virtual reality, where the music never stops and the doors never close. With a 32-song soundtrack ranging from the 70s to today's biggest hits, you can go in, dance with your favorite Dance Central characters to custom choreography, all designed for VR. In addition to practice mode, customizing your avatar, competitive and cooperative online multiplayer, we have some exciting new features coming to Dance Central. Playing Dance Central can be a workout. It's definitely a great game for fitness, so we created the Fitness app. And the Fitness app allows you to track your calories burned in real time as well as your stats over time. A huge part of the experience in Dance Central is dancing with the characters. Currently, your friends can challenge you to beat their scores, but now the characters are going to challenge you. Dancing with the characters allows you to earn respect and eventually unlock assets in the wardrobe so you can look fly anywhere in the game. And finally, we're releasing 6 songs as DLC. So if you've mastered all 32 on the soundtrack, no problem. We have more content coming your way. Dance Central is available now for the Oculus Quest, Rift S, and Rift. So pick it up and meet us in the club.
I'm really excited to be here to announce something that we've been waiting to share actually with the rest of the VR community out there. And that is that we're bringing Echo Arena to Quest. And for us, that was actually a huge endeavor that we started when Quest was first announced internally. So I'm really excited to tell you that soon you'll be able to play Echo Arena in all its glory on the Quest.
Hello, Captain Rods. I'm glad to see you're still safe. You too, Echo One.
I'm also really excited to be here not only to announce Echo Arena for Quest, but I'm here to introduce Lone Echo 2. In Lone Echo 2, actually, we're joining back in the story of Jack and Liv, and you'll be able to kind of reprise your role as Jack in this story that took our characters in the 22nd century from the space station around the rings of Saturn forward 400 years into the future, stranded on this spaceship. But then we open the world by introducing more characters that are going to contribute to your narrative, to the way you're going to play the game, and find out why not only is the gameplay mechanic important, but why is the relationship we build with the two characters important. Lone Echo 2 really reinforces this idea that you and Liv are like family, and that you and her basically will go through anything against all odds.
They can't know you're online. I promise. I'll explain everything when I get back. I'm going to need your help.
I can't wait to play more Dance Central on Quest, but Lone Echo 2 looked amazing, didn't it? Let's keep rolling with that PC VR vibe.
monkey punk.
Battlewake is our high seas pirate adventure, and the real focus here from Servios is we're just huge fans of high action combat and pirate in the high seas, and we just wanted to bring those all together in an action-packed experience people haven't been able to do in VR yet. Like all games at Servios, we really focus first and foremost on how can we innovate, how can we push the medium forward. So previously we had made Sprint Vector, and in that product we worked on fluid locomotion. So building upon the fluid locomotion system from the past, the team said, let's take this to vehicles. And the first thing the team asked ourselves is, if we're going to put fluid locomotion on a vehicle, what vehicle should we put players in? And everyone said almost simultaneously, pirates, right? Battleships on the high seas. You're constantly surrounded by dozens of pirate ships. We have a variety of weapons, from broadsides to Gatling guns, machine guns, axe throwers, ballistas, all sorts of things. And when you're playing the experience, not only does each pirate lord have a series of weapons and different levels they can progress through the system, they also have their unique powers and abilities. In addition to our campaign mode, we also have warfare mode, where you can have up to 4 players co-op on the same team, going from one scenario to another in a series of missions that give players random objectives and dynamic enemy types that progressively get harder and harder and harder the further the players get. So one of the really exciting things we're doing about Battlewake is we're actually going to have a closed beta. So please go to battlewake.com, where you can sign up to participate in that, and players will be able to play this new and exciting warfare mode before this gets released to the public.
In my life thus far, I have lost my unborn child, my wife, my fortune. I've been betrayed and dishonored. All for the sake of evil men and their ambitions.
Castle guards serve only to collect.
What more do I have to lose?
We're working on Spaceteam Virtuality, which is a cooperative shouting game where you have to stop your ship from reaching its impending doom. The only way you can do that is by yelling at your friends.
We've licensed the original Spaceteam iOS and Android game with over 8 million users, and we've brought that great couch co-op play, brought it into VR.
It's for between 2 and 6 players. You can play locally or you can play online.
Just like the original game, each sector gets harder and harder and crazier as you're shouting things to each other, different challenges in each sector as you get a different set of controls on your panel. Ray guns to shoot, so you can shoot all the aliens that are throwing goop at your panels with.
You've got a special hammer, so when everything inevitably breaks, you can then fix it.
We've got fire extinguisher to put all the fires out, which will inevitably happen.
Definitely.
You'll have asteroid fields that you need to defend against.
And of course, we've got terrifyingly difficult to understand instructions and a high level of technobabble.
And lots of over-the-top facial expressions from your various avatars, which will also be personalisable as well. Ultimately, the important thing to remember for this game is you have to work together as a space team. We're going to be opening the game up for alpha testing soon.
We're really excited to be bringing Spaceteam to VR fans at home, but also VR arcades, so people who might not have access to headsets can go off and play. And watch this space.
Audica is a VR rhythm shooter available now in early access. Armed with dual blasters, players shoot and smash to the beat of a killer soundtrack with 22 songs and counting. We've already released 10 updates in early access, and later this month we'll have our biggest update yet. It will include more new songs, a new environment, a new weapon set, and new leaderboard features that make it easier to challenge and compete with your friends, even cross-platform.
We recently updated the game to allow for custom blasters and avatars, and we also shared tools to allow you to create alternate target maps for any of the songs in our game soundtrack. Today, we're releasing an in-game editor that allows you to shoot along to any song on the soundtrack any way you like, which is immediately a playable map which can be shared or exported to Reaper for tweaking.
We are extremely grateful to our Audica creators and wanted to find a special way to showcase and reward that creativity. So we're excited to invite all of you to create your own playable maps, submit them through our Discord channel by July 10th for a chance to win prizes. We look forward to playing what you make.
You can pick up Audica now on Steam, Oculus Store, or Viveport, and we'll see you on the leaderboards.
Asgard's Wrath is an action-adventure RPG game set in a Norse mythology backdrop. You're going to be exploring a number of realms throughout the entire game. You're going to meet some of the famous Asgardians from across the world of Wrath. Loki's going to be sending you off to different realms to meet mortal heroes that you're going to aid and help to complete their saga.
Cowards! I will not be swept away so easily!
Gameplay is very action-oriented. As a god, you're going to be converting animals to assist the human characters. The shark's pretty hungry, so you could tell him to eat corpses. As he's eating the corpses, sometimes he'll be pulling a lever that's lifting up a platform, or he could be opening a door. I think people have never seen combat like what they're going to see in Asgard's Wrath. It's so visceral to have the sword and the shield in your hand and feel the impact and really feel like you're there competing with somebody. But probably one of my favorite elements is when you first as a god convert an animal and you put it down, to actually initiate and make that animal be your follower and do your bidding, you've got to walk over and give him a high five or a fist bump to get him to follow you.
My blades are at your command.
Asgard's Wrath will be out fall 2019, and it'll be out on the Oculus Rift. And make sure to play it on the Oculus Rift S because it looks absolutely fantastic on that.
My name is Victoria. In the 4th year of the reign of King James, I was knighted for fending off a raid by orcs from the Black Fist. Shortly after, I joined the Vulpine Order to help maintain peace in the city. In the 6th year of King James, I saved a group of noble women from an unruly mob at Rose Square. And in the following year, I defeated a company of bandits gathering near our border. I accompanied my lord as his steadfast guard through the Shadow Hills, the Azure Marshlands, and the Ashen Plains. No one dared doubt my loyalty. Until, that is, Lord Conrad was injured in battle during the Cobalt Rebellion. Baroness Eva was behind everything. Shh. Someone's coming. Be quiet. We don't have much time. Where were we? Oh, right. The injury. While the Lord was recovering, Baroness Eva took control of the military. Baroness Eva began installing her close allies in positions of power. I couldn't stand it any longer, so we planned to retake the castle. But then, she uncovered our plot. Last night, just as I was supposed to meet Lord Conrad, I sneaked into his room. A familiar smell hit me as soon as I opened the door. The wretched smell of blood, just like being back on the battlefield. I checked on Lord Conrad immediately, but he was already lying there dead, drenched in blood. It was obvious that his last breaths were spent in agony. I couldn't find any wounds, and the color of his blood was strange, as if he were poisoned. Suddenly, I realized I had stumbled into a trap. Baroness Eva had been behind everything from the very beginning. I fought, but there were too many of them. I somehow managed to escape. And now look at me. But I must go on. This is treason, plain and simple. And I'm out to expose the traitor's plot. Let's make a deal, Dave. If you help me clear my name, I will bring no charges against you. I give you my word.
Rogan. Huh? Rogan. That's my name.
Garden of the Sea is a VR game about truly belonging somewhere, about creating a home with your own hands, and about exploring and connecting with the world around you.
You start out on a small island and you have a little cottage, and your objective is to grow your own garden and explore the nearby islands and befriend some interesting creatures and basically just make this world your home.
We had this internal pitch day right after we released Budget Cuts, and Christopher, the art director on this game, and I both came into the pitch day and basically pitched the exact same game. So we looked at each other and we're like, we kind of have to build this now, don't we? We've got a plant growing system and a crafting system. We want to do some crossbreeding in the future, both for the animals and for the plants, so that, you know, what you're feeding them affects how they behave or what they look like in the future. We have some quests, we have a boat, we want to put in fishing soon.
Another thing that I really like is the creatures, because they are really fun to interact with.
Yeah, they're so cute, aren't they?
Yeah. And I hope we're gonna add more of them for the full game.
I have to say I have like a soft spot for the crafting system. That one I think has a lot of potential to become really cool. So we figured, like, why not release it now, today, in way too early access. We have so many ideas about what we want to build, but we want to know what you want the game to have. And we need your input on that to figure out how to make this game the best it possibly can be.
We're releasing Garden of the Sea on Steam, and we will support all the major VR headsets via Steam VR.
Back high five.
How's that? I don't know.
That's how that works.
These cool backwards.
We're not good at high fives, so we're going to work on our high fives.
Hi, I'm Paul Vandermeer, lead designer at Vertigo Games, and today we're proud to reveal the first gameplay footage of the Dam DLC, the largest Arizona Sunshine mission yet. It's coming your way August 27th. Please enjoy.
You knew what you were getting into. Get inside the dam, reset the control systems, and prove yourself useful.
Okay then. Let us begin.
Hi, I'm Erin, head of content at Hammerhead, an immersive entertainment studio based in the UK. We're excited to announce that we're working on the continuation of Aid, the award-winning 2013 cult film by Rob McClellan. Abe is a tense psychological horror about a robot who's looking for love in all the wrong places. We are creating a multi-format story world, leading with a pioneering location-based VR experience that will be brought to life through state-of-the-art volumetric capture. We're also bringing you a short film and a game release that can be played with or without VR. We're proud to present the first teaser. Take a look.
Let us begin.
Maybe this time I will get it right. Maybe this time I will fix you.
Abe looks amazing, but what are you going to do to that pig? Anyway, thanks Hammerhead for that one. In fact, we're nearing the home stretch now, so it's time to start throwing some more megatons your way. Here's the latest look at Espire 1.
Welcome, Agent.
Espire 1 is a made-for-VR stealth action first-person shooter that targets every VR platform. The original inspiration for Espire actually came from UploadVR's Presence podcast that they ran in 2016. One of their listener questions was, why aren't there any realistic stealth games in VR? Games like Metal Gear Solid and Splinter Cell. And for 2 years, we've been trying to reimagine these classic stealth mechanics in VR.
Yeah, Espire's been built for VR PC headsets, including the Oculus Rift S, Valve Index, the HTC Vive, and Windows Mixed Reality. It's also coming to PSVR and the Oculus Quest, where gameplay will remain one-to-one.
A huge problem with VR is simulator sickness, or VR sickness. And right from day one, we've always wanted all players to play Espire with the full freedom of movement and the precise control that they expect from console shooters. So early in development, we invented the Espire Control Theatre. It is our locomotion system with its comfort features, and the Espire Control Theatre allows for full freedom of movement, maintains immersion in the game world, and minimises VR sickness.
We've also got electromagnets in the Espire robot's hands, so you can climb metal surfaces throughout the game and distance grip certain objects, which gives you a variety of stealth options when you're playing the game. You can actually sneak up behind guards if you're undetected and physically say freeze, and they'll be held up. Players experience long-form, story-driven campaign missions, so they take 30 to 80 minutes to complete. Progress can be saved mid-mission, which is perfect for playing on the go.
There are also a number of virtual challenges that test your skills on global leaderboards.
Tripwire have just been fantastic over the journey. They've been so much more than just a publisher. They've provided us dev support and a variety of other resources throughout the journey.
The Espire team is extremely excited to get the game into your virtual hands. You'll be able to play Espire this coming August, where it will be available on all platforms. To find out more about the game and to stay up to date on the latest developments, be sure to visit us on our social media platforms.
Holy f***, that looked amazing! If you like that, check out this cool
Hey everybody, Shabs, Game Director here at First Contact Entertainment. I'm excited to be here on behalf of our team to give you guys a world exclusive to the new title we're working on. It's a fast-paced, multiplayer shooter in VR.
So we knew early on that we wanted to make Budget Cuts 2 a game of larger scope and variety. So that's when we asked Fast Travel Games to collaborate with us.
Yeah, I mean, we used to share an office back then, so we played each other's games before they were finished. There was lots of discussions and great ideas being thrown around. So when Neat approached us to co-develop this game, my thoughts went back to those discussions, and I'm really, really happy we will work together to make them come alive. In Budget Cuts 2, you're on a mission. It used to be about saving your job, but now you have to save the world. So your mission is to take down Transcorp, a mega powerful corporation that kills humans and replaces them with workaholic robots, all in the name of efficiency. And to accomplish this, you have to leave your office cubicle and travel across several new types of environments.
So these new environments, they enable us to make new gameplay, both in terms of enemy encounters and puzzle solving, and combining that with our improved AI system and new types of enemies, new types of gadgets, lets us make a whole new range of challenges. So it's not just like choosing between stealth or action, it's more fine-grained, like how you choose to approach a stealth scenario, or what tools you use to accomplish your goals. The original Budget Cuts was about escaping the Transcorp offices, so we found that players were taking a very cautious approach to enemies.
In Budget Cuts 2, it's much more about infiltration, about getting closer to the Transcorp headquarters to finally be able to take them down. Budget Cuts 2 is a self-contained title, so you don't have to have enjoyed Budget Cuts 1 to play this, but I think you really should, because it's an awesome game.
Stay tuned, because Budget Cuts 2 Mission Insolvency will be released on all high-end VR headsets this year.
What?
Vision. Okay, hold on to your butts. It's the big finale. Let's hand it over to Cloudhead Games.
So Pistol Whip is this kind of glorious hodgepodge of genres. We've been describing it as like a music rhythm FPS game, but it also has the inklings of like a runner game and a bullet hell game.
It's a shooter that you don't necessarily have to be dead accurate to hit, and it's a rhythm game that doesn't require you to take out enemies in a specific order.
To me, the gameplay of Pistol Whip is all about speed. You're not taking your time and aiming down the sights to make sure you get a headshot on a dude. You don't have time for that. You gotta move quickly through the scene, taking out as many guys as you can, dodging bullets all at the same time.
I love this idea that you are kind of just focused on the thing that you're good at. And in this case, it's either being reactive and accurate to hitting enemies, or you're thinking about the beat and the musicality of it.
It's like taking chocolate and peanut butter in VR with your kind of flow state rhythm of Beat Saber, and you've got your frenetic action of Super Hot, and you put them together and you end up feeling like John Wick in a movie trailer, taking out targets and ultimately being this action hero badass.
We ended up listening to a whole bunch of different tracks, obviously, and as the team kind of focused in on what we really wanted the heart of the game to be, it became clear that one label in Montreal really stood out. Cannibal Records is who we ended up partnering with.
Straight from the grave.
They just seem to have this library of really dramatic and kick-ass epic action songs, but they're also just super fun. So it really kind of hit the sweet spot for us and what we were looking for.
A round of Pistol Whip feels kind of like watching a high-octane action movie trailer. You know, if you liked John Wick, Hardcore Henry, Equilibrium, you're probably gonna love this.
So for me, part of the inspiration for Pistol Whip was figuring out a way to kind of plant the user in the center of an action scene.
A lot of rhythm games do deal with just you're static and you're in a void and things sort of fly past you. We wanted to go a different direction and move the player actually through a space so that we could tap into action movie tropes. This is not exactly the club from John Wick, but it's tapping into that same vibe.
even by happenstance, without even trying, the player is going to be kind of musically flowing through the game just based on where the enemies are popping up.
The stuff that you see in your typical rhythm game where you have a specific set of targets to hit at a specific timing, that doesn't exist here. You're presented opportunities in a rhythmic manner that's driven by the music that's at the heart of everything, and you choose how to capitalize on those.
At the start, you're trying to compete against yourself. You're trying to best your last score. You're trying to be more tactical and more surgical with how you're taking out enemies. You start in a panic state. I like the kind of steps and stages you experience as you kind of go through different songs and you learn how to be a great pistol whip player. I think our studio shines in terms of game feel. Whether it's a deeply complex narrative experience or something like we did for Valve with the Hand Labs experience or Pistol Whip, we pride ourselves on knowing what feels good, and I think Pistol Whip feels amazing, and people will get it when they play it.
Okay, that's a wrap. We are done, finished, finito, out of here. Thank you so much for watching the first ever Upload E3 VR showcase. Thank you to every developer that took part today. You guys make the VR industry what it is. Let's close out with another look at some of the games we covered today.